Now, the Killers of the Flower Moon movie is putting the spotlight on that reign of terror, a string of dozens of murders of Osage people in the 20s for money, land, and power. Fox 25's Peyton May tells us why tribal leaders are concerned the chilling story won't be told in Oklahoma classrooms.
It tells a story that nobody really wants to hear, or they really don't want to learn about.
This is a story shedding light on a gruesome history, a history that for decades hasn't been told.
I think we owe it to those people who died and who suffered during that decade of the 20s to have some recognition in our history books that it happened and this was wrong.
It's a personal story for former Osage Nation chief Jim Gray.
I also am a direct descendant of one of the characters who was murdered in this film.
His ancestor, Henry Rowan, is one of the many Osage men and women killed for head rights on oil-rich lands, a dark chapter of Oklahoma history that was left out of the textbooks.
My family story, this story of the Osage Reign of Terror that's documented in this book and movie, wasn't taught in public schools before.
Even with the release of the Martin Scorsese movie, some tribal leaders are concerned this book won't be taught in Oklahoma classrooms because of this law.
The law was passed with, in my opinion, it was a solution looking for a problem.
House Bill 1775 passed in 2021. Its language prohibits educators from teaching that an individual is inherently racist or oppressive based on their race. An individual bears responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race, or that any individual should feel discomfort, guilt, or any other distress based on race. Critics of the law say teachers are on thin ice teaching topics about race in fear of losing their teaching certificate or district's accreditation status based on how a student might react.
Whether it makes anybody feel good or not is not the point. History is not there to make us feel good. History is there to help educate us so that when there were mistakes in the past, they don't get repeated.
Chickasaw Nation Governor Bill Anatobi believes it might be difficult to walk that line.
Teaching in the school systems, they have to be more delicate, I think, but I don't know how you make this delicate.
But the sponsor of the bill, Representative Kevin West, previously told Fox 25 teaching history shouldn't be a concern.
We need to be in a position where we're teaching the children, what actually happened in history, and then let them work through, what that means to them. We need to know the history, and this bill does not suppress teaching actual history.
Adding that it's not about how a student responds, it's how a teacher teaches.
If a child feels discomfort or anguish or any of those things because of their race or sex, we violated the law. That is not what the law says. It says that you're not going to teach the concepts so that they should feel those things.
Regardless, the Osage Nation and other tribes have passed resolutions calling for the repeal of the law and hope that their history is never suppressed again.
If we expect to keep it from happening again, we have to know about it.
And they can move forward to a brighter future. For Fox 25 News, I'm Peyton May.